When you come in here, the rules of the game are different. What you can't do is talk over me. Now that's what you can't do. I think this is about your relationship. I just thought it was sex. Because it only gets worse for you. Act like you already know what you already know. This ain't new information to you. It's new information to me. This is why I got up this morning.
Today on Judge Dad.
This is such a first world problem. You come in court about a gender reveal. We got children sick and dying. We got people can't clothe their kids, can't put a roof over their head. I gotta get y'all out of my courtroom.
Court is in session. Dr. Sean McMillan presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. So we're here because the plaintiff, Ellen Sinclair, is suing the defendant, Bobby Moons, in the amount of $7,500 for emotional distress and expenses incurred replacing the entire contents of her nursery. This is interesting. So, Ms. Sinclair, explain to me what you mean and why you're here.
I was given a gender reveal cake and very excitedly learned that I was going to be having a girl.
Now, listen, Ms. Sinclair, I'm sorry to cut you off, but just for the sake of clarity, tell me what a gender reveal cake is. In my day, when I had my kids, the reveal was here he is. So what's a gender reveal cake?
It is when you learn the gender by cutting open a piece of cake, and inside there is either pink or blue. And the pink tells you you're having a girl, and the blue tells you you're having a boy. So it is the moment you've been waiting for, finding out the gender of your baby.
Okay, I got it. So you cut into your cake, and what color was it?
It was pink.
It was pink, and the baby turned out to be what?
The baby turned out to be a boy.
A boy, okay.
Yes.
And you're here because the mix-up in the cake caused you to do what? How did this complicate your life?
Well, once I found out it was a girl, I spared no expense. I bought all of the nicest nursery decorations, all of the baby girl clothes from all of my local shops and boutiques. I went full into expecting to have a girl, and I spent very, very, very much money putting this all together in anticipation for the arrival of my baby girl.
What I hear you saying is that once you cut into the cake, you saw that it was pink, you took that as all the information you needed to go forward and to begin to plan the nursery and the room and all of the, things that a little girl might need to have a wonderful life. I guess what I would ask you is, once you cut into the cake, and this is new to me, not my thing. Once you cut into the cake and you know, based on what the cake is saying, did you ever follow up with a doctor? Since you already know, why not know more?
There is no need. The doctor sent the gender to the baker with his approval, saying that it was a girl.
But you never confirmed what the doctor sent by having the doctor send it to you as well. You trusted what the doctor told the baker, so the baker was your source of confidence in this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Mr. Moons, the devastating baker who is causing all of this is what has been purported to me thus far. These are not my words, sir. This is just what I'm hearing thus far in the case. Mr. Moons, how did you, well, I'm just going to be clear, and how did you mess this up?
Your Honor, I'll tell you what, this plaintiff she's a handful.
I didn't ask you about her. I asked you about how you messed it up.
I didn't mess it up, Your Honor. I got a letter from her Dr. I believe his name. I brought that letter in for evidence if you want to take a look at that.
I do. Who put the letter up? What does the letter say?
It was sent, I believe, in November. It tells me that the gender of the child would be a girl by 90% accuracy.
So you got a letter from the doctor saying that 95%?
90%.
90% sure that this was going to be a little girl. So what happened? Do you know what happened?
I can only go by what the letter tells me. If there's a 10% either or margin of error, then that's the science of it all. That's not me, sir. I'm a baker, not a scientist.
Miss Sinclair, is Dr. your doctor?
That is correct.
Dr. is your doctor. Have you seen this letter from Dr. Given to Mr. Moon?
Well, I have now that it's been revealed in evidence.
You didn't see this letter before?
I trusted the doctor to send it to the baker and the baker to send it to me in the form of a gender reveal cake.
Okay, Miss Sinclair, I'm trying to honor what you must be feeling, but
Absolutely.
I'm about to also honor the truth, which is not going to feel very good for you. And I don't want you to feel attacked. I just need you to be clear, and you're not that. So I'm looking at a letter from the doctor, your doctor, who just told me is your doctor, to your baker, saying that the cake, saying that it was 90% sure that this was going to be a girl, right? In fact, the process that you set up for the baker to know, he followed that process. He got the letter from your doctor. So it doesn't seem as if it's the baker that got it wrong. It seems as if it's the doctor that got it wrong. Have you talked to the doctor? Are you going to sue the doctor?
Absolutely not.
Ms. Sinclair, the problem that I'm having here is this, is that you're putting your certainty in the wrong place and you're avoiding accountability. You all were pregnant around the same time?
Yes.
And apparently one of you was having a boy, the other one was having a girl, and he could have mixed up the letters and sent the wrong. Mr. Moon, that's a plausible thing that might have happened here.
You are the five. Get off my stage.
Let's just cut across the field, because I'm starting to get annoyed. This whole notion that anybody can be 100% sure of what any baby is going to be is ridiculous to begin with. Nobody but the creator is absolutely certain of what the baby's going to be when it comes out. All this gender reveal cake and gender reveal fireworks, burning up half the state. You people need to calm down with this stuff. I'm going to bring your witness out, but let me say one more thing. I'm a little perturbed about why you're in here suing this man for giving you a cake based on information that you got from your doctor. Let me tell you why. When I had my sons and they handed us the son, don't look away, look at me. They handed us the son. I didn't care what gender the boy was. As long as he had 10 toes and 10 fingers and 2 hands and a mind and some eyes that work and ears, we were happy with that. We were happy that we had healthy children. You have a healthy child and you're here suing somebody because it's not the gender you thought it was. Bring out your witness. Let's talk to Mary. Mary, what do you want to add to this? You can already see I'm perturbed, Mary, so you might want to be careful.
Hello, Your Honor. Thank you. Yes. So I am another new mom in the area, and I'm so happy for my new baby. And I was on, using the mom blogs because we all do. There's so much pressure now to be a parent and to get things right. So I was on the Mommy Movement blog, and I saw Ellen's post. And it just really hit, Your Honor, because I had a very similar experience with Mr. Moon's bakery. I reached out to him. I had my doctor send my letter to Mr. Moon. He comes highly recommended.
It's the same doctor, Mrs.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, yes. Miss Mary, you don't know how much I was hoping. Like down in the city of my soul, where the deep, intricate places of me collide with each other. You don't know how happy I am that you said yes to that question. I want you to continue, but joy is overcoming me. Go ahead.
Well, my husband and I were very, thrilled when we got our gender reveal cake. It said it was going to be a boy. We did a little decorating, we got some clothes. And then when I gave birth, it was a girl. And of course we're thrilled. We're happy. It's a healthy baby. But again, there's just this confusion. And when you're prepping for one thing, it's very confusing, and the stress of that and all the things that you then have to do when you learn that, oh, I'm having a girl instead of a boy. When I read Ellen's post, it really hit. And I know how stressful, again, it is to be a mother, and these days to get everything perfect and just right. And she really tried, Your Honor. She did such a wonderful job setting things up for the little girl that she expected. And I know she's a wonderful mother to her little boy, but it was just such a heartache for her. I wanted to show my support as a new mother.
Well, yeah, Miss Mary, and Miss Sinclair, I in no way seek to impugn or doubt your ability, your credibility, your capacity as a mother. Not at all. I'm sure that you are doting, you are capable, and you love your child. That's not why we're here today. We're not here to make an assessment of you as a parent. We're here to assess the validity of your claim as a plaintiff suing the cake maker for giving you the wrong color cake. Based upon that color, you spent, according to you, $7,500, and now you want that money back from the cake maker, who incidentally was following the instructions of the doctor that you chose. Ironically, you brought today a witness who also used the same doctor, and that same doctor probably in a like fashion gave Mr. Moon the wrong information. See what you have in common, Mr. Moon, you just hang out for a little while. What both of you have in common, Miss Ellen and Miss Mary, is this doctor, not just the cake maker, the doctor. Mr. Moon, let me ask you a question. Are you just sitting in your little bakery with your ovens, just putting your finger up in the air, coming up with blue and pink cakes all by yourself?
No, Your Honor. I've been doing these for about 12 years.
No. Yes or no is all I know. I'm on a roll. When I'm on a roll, I just do yes or no. Mr. Moon,
Yes, sir, no.
Mr. Moon. When you get a letter from the doctor, do you follow what that letter is saying from the doctor? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. And you said you've been doing this for 12 years. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And every time for 12 years, you follow what the letter says from the doctor. Yes or no?
Yes.
And I have a letter from you, from the doctor, that both of these women happen to use, and both of these cakes happen to be wrong based upon the letters you got from the same doctor. Yes or no?
Yes. Miss Sinclair's letter, yes.
Yes. Miss Sinclair, anything else you want to add?
Yes, I would love to. I believe that it is not the doctor who is at fault for sending the wrong letter. I believe the baker is at fault for mixing up the cakes based on the letters.
Mm-hmm. So you think Mr. Moon mixed up the cakes based upon the letters?
Absolutely.
That's plausible. That's plausible. He could have, Mr. Moon, you could have gotten both of, because you all were pregnant around the same time? That would have to be the case, right?
Yes.
So he could have gotten, and apparently one of you was having a boy, the other one was having a girl, and he could have mixed up the letters and sent them wrong. Mr. Moon, that's a plausible thing that might have happened here.
Your Honor, I wish, this is my first time laying eyes on Miss Turner. I wish she would have reached out to me. For Miss Sinclair, I offered to pay back half of the cost of the $300 cake, and then she's hitting me with this $7,500 charge for furniture of a nursery. I offered to pay her back. I'll offer Miss Turner right now the same cake that she bought for $300. I'll offer to give her $150 back, but putting the burden of nursery furniture on me.
You cannot, you don't even understand. You know how much it costs?
No, Miss Sinclair, you don't get to do that. You're hurting your case. Do you have a girl or a boy?
I have a boy.
What does the letter say?
The letter says that I'm getting a girl.
If the doctor wrote the letter, then the doctor is wrong. Can you admit that?
I am ordering you to heal. That's called a mama with a soft heart.
son. I'm gonna talk to you as a dad for a second. Listen, Mr. Moon.
Yes, sir.
Did you mix up the cakes? Be honest, sir.
I did not, sir. I've been doing this for a while, as I've stated. Mixing up the cakes, there's no reason the doctor couldn't have mixed up the letters if it's the same doctor, same time frame as the pregnancies of the two women.
Mr. Moon,
Yes,
there's a better response you could have given. Here's what you should have said, sir. Here's what you should have said. You should have said, Your Honor, I got a letter from the doctor saying it's going to be a girl. I sent to Miss Sinclair a pink cake. There's no way I could mix up the cakes if I got a letter from her doctor saying that the baby was going to be a girl and she got a pink cake. That's all you should have said right there. You want to try that?
Yes, sir. I got the letter. I sent the cake. It says it's simple math on my part.
Yeah. The logic of the switching of the cakes might make sense if I didn't have a letter from the doctor. If I didn't have a letter from the doctor and you got a cake you got the right cake based upon the letter. That's my point. You got the right cake based upon the letter. The wrong cake based upon nature, but the right cake based upon the letter. So there's no switching of the cakes. No. That's not what happened here. What happened here is that the doctor that you're putting all your trust in needs to stop writing these erroneous letters. Or you, not just you, but anybody who's involved in this whole gender reveal obsession, talk to the doctor. Talk to the doctor. Get your advice from a professional, a medical professional, about what the likelihood is of the gender of the baby. And how about you not rush out and spend $7,500 until you know what you got? I understand that you want to get the room ready and all of that, but I just don't see how Mr. Moon is responsible for paying back your nursery expenses when I'm literally looking at a letter from the doctor, your doctor, telling him what the baby would probably be. He makes a cake in relation to that information, the only information that he has, and now you're suing him. You have the nerve to come in here and sue him, and you're not suing the doctor. Tell me, Ms. St. Clair, when will you be back to sue the doctor?
If I may, Your Honor, I firmly believe that the doctor is not at fault here.
Based upon what? Based upon what? Answer my question. I don't need speeches. I need answers. Based upon what are you making the case that the doctor's not at fault? Ma'am, are you saying the doctor didn't write this letter?
I'm saying the doctor did write this letter.
So the doctor's wrong. If the doctor wrote the letter, then the doctor is wrong. Can you admit that?
I cannot admit that because I believe.
Do you have a girl or a boy?
I have a boy.
What does the letter say?
The letter says that I'm getting a girl.
And was the doctor wrong?
The doctor was incorrect. Yes.
So again, let me ask you the question you've not answered. When are you coming back to sue the doctor?
I will not be suing the doctor. I will be suing the baker for messing up the cake that eventually led to me spending $7,500.
Really? You know,
That is correct.
I find your certainty repugnant because it's not founded upon anything real but the fantasy and the need for revenge that's running around in your head.
I understand why Ellen is so upset right now, and I still am lending my support to her.
Yeah, well, I don't.
You are the foul. Get off my stage.
I'm completely turned off by this notion that somebody needs to pay for what was a mistake. Even if you think Mr. Moon made a mistake, what was a mistake on two levels? It wasn't just his mistake that was made. He was following the best information that he had. And based upon that information, he did what any baker in that scenario would have done as it relates to a gender reveal. He might be in terrible standing if he had actually given you a blue cake when the doctor told him, based upon the information, it should be pink, but he followed the best information that he had. And you want to drag him into court, sue him for $7,500, and you have no qualms about the doctor's role in this, who I think is the one who made the actual mistake. I'm bothered by this on so many levels. Mr. Moon, what's your I don't mean to get in your personal business, so give me a roundabout number. What's your electricity bill a month?
San Francisco, Your Honor, and I am a bakery. It runs about $220.
$200. Your bill is
Yes, sir.
$200. Okay, that's good to know. That's very good to know. Miss Mary, anything you want to add before I let you go? Because you've just been hanging out here listening.
Your Honor, I still just want to reinforce the fact that as a new parent, the stresses that we're dealing with, I understand why Ellen is so upset right now, and I still am lending my support to her.
Yeah, well, I don't, Miss Mary, because she got a healthy baby. The baby's healthy. The family is well. Nobody's sick. This is such a first world problem. You come in court about a gender reveal. We got children sick and dying. We got people can't clothe their kids, can't put a roof over their head, and Miss Mary understands why you're so strong. I don't understand. Miss Mary, you can go. Thank you so much. Let's get to it, because, yeah, I got to get y'all out of my courtroom. Yeah, you're messing up my spirit, and I like my spirit to be up and happy and alive. All right, Miss Sinclair, I think you can already tell where this is going to go. I rule for the defendant. You will in no way get $7,500 at all in this case, not only because you don't deserve it, but because your smugness about it and the inability to really put the blame and the accountability on yourself and the doctor is offensive. In fact, it's so offensive, I'm going to rule that you pay the defendant $200 for his electric bill to be in this courtroom today. That's it.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
The lawsuit ended up doing a bit of good for me. It drummed up a lot of business because of the publicity. So I guess there's that. There's a reason for everything. I just hope Miss Sinclair learns to be a happier person and works through her anger and is appreciative of the fact that it's just about, like the judge says, having a healthy baby.